All right, welcome to We Are Something Else. For the Soul presents Soul Tales. Something that we trying out. We've done it once before, but you guys will never see the first episode. But I'm going to bring in a panel. Tonight's all about sneakers. We don't have no news, no nothing to talk about. Let's see who we got in the panel tonight joining us. Oh, we got Be Easy. We got E from the OT Show. We got E Rich, and we got CB. Welcome, Soul Tales, bro. All y'all are on mute, by the way, so come on off mute.
Yo.
Yeah, welcome to Soul Tales. We get to join another show.
Do what it do.
Oh man, so fellas, we're here tonight to talk about sneakers and our love for sneakers. And when we first found our love for sneakers, but let's go around and let everybody introduce themselves. All y'all have been on the show once or twice. So we'll start with Be Easy, right there. And then we'll go with E, then we'll go with E Rich, then we'll go with CB. So Be Easy. Welcome to the show. Introduce yourself.
Thank you. My name is Brandon, aka Be Easy. I got a YouTube, Be Easy Shoes and Fashion Reviews. That's me. Check me out. You can catch me on Be Easy Reviews on Instagram as well as Facebook.
There you go.
Yes, I'm E from the OT Show. I had a podcast, OT Show, and then I have a YouTube, Roseberry and Whiskey, with my man Aaron Watson, cooking with the Watsons. So yeah, that, and I started a clothing line with my a cousin of mine, man. So called Vets. So yeah, check us out on Instagram at Vets INC.
Dope. And the fellow right there,
Eric, aka E Rich, aka if you didn't know, now you know. And at the end of the day, from We Are Something Else, West Coast representing, West Coast stand up, Long Beach in the house, and here to talk about some shoes and push the culture forward like I always do.
absolutely. And that fellow right there next to you,
Chris, aka CB. If you guys watch the podcast, We Are Something Else, you're familiar. If you guys have ever streamed on the way to Aspen, that's me and Kaleo. You might be familiar. But this is one of my favorite topics on the face of the earth, so I'm excited.
all right, so let's get started. So why not start with when where, why, and how did you become a sneakerhead? If all those questions have an answer to it, let's start with that. If it's just the who, if it's just the what, the when, the how, just start with that. So Beezy, let's start with you. When did sneakers, you find a love for sneakers?
I would say high school. Basically, when I came out of high school, all the fly shoes that's out right now, retroing, were first releasing. So, you'll see all the popular people had the fly shoes. And I was a newcomer in Clinton, Maryland, came from another school. I didn't know anybody. I was like, man, they got the Jordans. I came from somewhere else. Everybody didn't have Jordans and everything like that. So when I went to Surrattsville, like everybody got money, 2-income family, something I ain't see growing up. So, so I think my junior or senior year, my mom bought me my first Jordans. And then I started working and buying my own, and I was stuck. And my foot didn't grow so much, so I still got some shoes from back then. So it's basically the popular people in high school.
What were the Jordans?
So my first ones I still got right here are the 13 Flint. They fell apart, but I still have them. So I had all the 13s at the time, except for the cherry red. So when they first re-released, I had to cop them. So, but yeah, they back here somewhere, but they're in the boxes. They decrepit and falling apart. They in this box right here.
Look, you ain't got to explain. True sneakerheads understand that.
Yeah, they done fell apart twice. I win when the Dallas play the Redskins here and there because of the color, but that's about it.
Hey, what's good, man? Your love for sneakers.
Mine started when I was like a kid, probably like around 6 or 7, and it was because of my cousin. My cousin was older than me, and I should always see him with sneakers. And Yeah, so it started then. My first pair ever, like that really got me involved in the game was the Jordan 5s. Um, the white with the reflective tongue.
Yep.
And those joints really got me in the game, man. I remember like my mother bought me them joints. I don't know if y'all remember this store called People's back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, People's had the Jordan 5s. It was the craziest shit. In North Carolina, bro. I got a drink from a People's in North Carolina, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and I bought them joints, man. I tried to keep them joints as clean as possible, bro. Like I mean, I was toothbrushing everything, bro.
That's dope. Peebles, good grief.
Yeah.
CB, your love for sneakers, brother.
It's hard to like really narrow it down, you know, but part of it started because I grew up playing soccer. And so actually playing indoor mostly year round, because you could still do that, I was wearing Sambas, which ended up becoming actually kind of a lifestyle shoe along with, you know, it being functional on the soccer field and everything. But when I got a little bit older, I have to give my dad some credit. So my pop, he was not like a big Jordan head or a specific brand name or anything, but he's the kind of guy that if he found a shoe that he liked, he would buy multiple pairs of them in different colors. It didn't matter what it was. He went through phases where it was the Reebok Question. He went through phases where it was like the Hyper Dunks, Hirachis. He would just go through these phases. And my mom would get mad that he kept buying multiple pairs. And so since me, my brother were the same size as him, we would get the hand-me-down. So when I was in like middle school and high school, this is actually how I started like building up like a collection of shoes. It was all my dad's overstock essentially, that if he didn't get rid of, he was, you know, my mom was going to beat his ass. So, you know, doing pops a solid.
Dope. E-Rich, your love for sneakers.
Man, shit. Probably as soon as you realized what dope ass sneakers were on feet, you know what I mean? That it felt like you don't even remember what age it was. You just remember seeing a pair and you was like, man, them hoes is fresh. A little different out here though. Your first pair of sneakers is typically a black pair. So my first official like, you know, shoe name brand outside of, you know, the norm was probably the Jordan 4s because they was all black. It was the first ones that I was probably able to talk the parentals in getting because they had a less amount of that other color that I can go to and from school and not, you know, have to, you know, catch any heat for the color. But so it was the black, it was the mainly black 4s. But yeah, man. I mean, I think that's the other notion is to be a sneakerhead in certain locations out here was you either didn't wear or you didn't buy a certain pair because of the color. And for that kind of, you know, got you where you got a lot of cats out here that got nothing but the black and red pairs of every Jordan possible because you wasn't wearing the blue and gray or you was already getting checked on the bus stop. Or if you had them, you had your cousin buy them and you just kept them in the house and you only wore them to neutral locations that you wasn't going to get pulled up on. So, you know, that's why I said your black pair is everything. Your black Chucks, your black Air Max that looked like you was working at somebody's kitchen because, you know, they always had the all black on and then something else. But, yeah, man, ever since then, you know, it's just a lifestyle. You know, you see it on TV, then you know, all of us got older cousins that was balling out and that's where it came from.
All right. I mean, at this point, I think the sneaker game has evolved enough to where when it comes to gangs, it should be whatever you want to wear on your feet. That's off, you know, that's neutral ground, but anything from the ankles up is what sets you claiming. It don't work that way.
No.
Whatever.
Wishful thinking, bro. Wishful thinking.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's a little different. Good. Yeah, it sounds good. It's a little different out here on the East Coast where you know, gangs work a little different out here. But now I think the older cousin vibe is what really it is. What it is because I didn't have any older siblings. So my older cousin, who's probably like 8 years older than me, Man, he had almost everything. He was rocking. He had the first pair of Ewans straight out the factory because somebody in the family worked for Adidas at the time, and he was getting like fresh Ewans, and he had every J, all that. I mean, it was he was my sneaker idol for sure. And I remember, I think one pair of shoes, me and E. Thomason, we went to uniform elementary school, so like all the clothes and stuff didn't matter. It's just shoes, and then everything had to be black shoes. I remember always wanting a pair of Chucks. That is what I wanted. I wanted a pair of black Chucks, but of course, black Chucks at that point they weren't all black. They had the white bottoms, and my grandparents refused to buy me Chucks. The simplest shoe, couldn't get it. I was like, damn, why can't I get Chucks? But yeah, but it's all due to my cousin. And I think from there, like, you talk about Peebles had fives, right? I remember Eastover, Discount Mart. Discount Mart had, I got a pair of OG infrared sixes from Discount Mart. That was fourth grade, because I still got the picture from the first fourth grade dance I was going to. I had the infrared sixes on, some black slacks, and a 8-ball button-up shirt. I can find a picture.
Not the 8-ball joint.
It was an 8-ball. I'll bring it. But yeah, so yeah, that's where we became. Look, everyone becomes a sneakerhead from somebody who kind of shows you the way, right? I don't think anybody just kind of up and picks up, like, because like in sneakers is like a hand-me-down, like, kind of culture thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I want to talk about lines versus the app. Let's just spend a little time on that. Like, I'm sure all of us at one point have stood in the sneaker line. Am I right? Okay. Let's go around. Let's go around. What do you prefer? Do you prefer standing in line, or do you prefer the app? I'll start with that simple question. We can just jump on in. Everybody just go for it. B, you raised your hand. So go ahead.
Me, the lines, bro. It's as far as 2017. I was hopping in line buying 3 pairs of Jordans, one for me, one for each one of my sons. And then they told me, they was like, in 2018, they stopped in the lines, bro. And I'm like, it's no way. I didn't know it was gonna be this difficult though. But even in high school, my mom would allow me to go to Foot Locker before school, get your Jordans, and you can rock them to class. Or even be late. So yeah, I definitely missed the lines. The sneaker app, it's too many variables. You don't know who you're going against. There's too many variables. My Foot Locker had the people from Clinton right there.
That's true.
Sneaker app got, I don't know, everywhere.
You can count the people who you're going against in line.
Yeah.
You walk down the line, look at that shoe.
Yeah. And you're like, I'm a 9.5. 1, 2, 3 people in front of me. They got at least 6 pair. I'm good. But yeah.
All right.
I'll
go ahead.
Now, I was about to say, man, I'm with B, man. I like the line, bro. Because, like you say, the sneaker ass, man, you might be going against a dude in Nova Scotia somewhere. And y'all, you know what I'm saying? Trying to buy all computers. The nines. Yeah, with 4 computers and boxes and shit. He's buying all the 9s, the 9.5s and shit. So, now I like the line, man. Actually, it's funny. It's funny because I like the actual process of going to the store. Like, it's kind of nostalgic now. Like, you don't even get that experience no more. Like, I actually did it recently for the Sweetwater, as a matter of fact. I happened to be in Williamsburg, and I called up the finish line. Like, yeah, I got the drinks. I went up there, bro. It's funny. It was only like, 5 people in line. 5 people when I got there early. It was two, 3 people in front of me, and I was like the 4th person. And so I got up there on time and got the drinks, and everything was smooth. I called up there, dude, put it to the side for me. Everything was smooth. But I actually missed it because I don't do it no more. Like, I was like, dog, this is a sweet deal. Like, it felt good, you know. Like,
yep.
But yeah, I rather go to the line, bro.
I feel you.
I don't know. I'm a little torn. I'll say half and half. Half line, depending on what age you are in the app for the other half of your age, right? I ain't spending all that gas money to go to that one mall that you know only the certain few that know about that mall should go to, because that went out the window, right? Because then they started getting hip on how many pairs was sent to a certain location. I think the line for me, and the reason why I say this is because once you skip to another spot that you're not from, you already know you losing out to 3 of the cats that know the dude that worked, the manager that worked there, right? So you already out a certain amount of pairs for the cats that already put up. You already know you out about 2 of the employees that already snagged their shit before they put them out on the floor. So for me, the L was already like, I'm not gonna make the drive. Now the experience, me and Cleo definitely got experience where we drove hella far for some shoes that he got that I didn't get because they didn't have my size, right? But
that was a quiet ass ride home too.
But you know, the end of the day, like, yeah, you that nostalgia piece is where it's at. But my half of it comes from, you know, my cousin worked at the store. So, you know, we was a part of you send me some old ass shoes back, you gonna have the new Jordans and before 2 weeks before they come out. So I didn't have to hit the line. I was already going to school with them shits on my feet. So fuck the line to me. And as far as the app is concerned, hey, look, man, we've been taking L's since before time. That 7 o'clock in the morning L ain't changed nothing but me going back to sleep for another 30 minutes. So,
okay,
man. It's like we're sharing the same brain right now, because I'm split 50-50, because when I was younger, I'm telling you 100% I prefer the line. You know, just the process of getting up early, being motivated to get up early, make a drive, sit in line. Usually it was cold for whatever reason. I don't know why I remember that. You know, the street lights are still on, you know, you're waiting. That was cool when I was younger. Now I would much rather roll over, boop, boop, enter draw, put it down, roll right back. Like, I'm not going to cap. Like, that's actually how I feel right now. Like, as a man in my 30s, there's a novelty to the apps. And yes, it's a built-in out because I'm going to keep complaining every time I catch the L. That doesn't change. But from a convenience standpoint, you know, it's tough to imagine now them doing major releases like that on a regular basis. We know that they still do like pop up, and certain shoes do get the release treatment nowadays, but it's not every weekend like it used to be when we were younger. That's what it felt like. And so it's just the way that the environment is now, especially since I just feel like the danger has been amped up. Maybe I'm making that up, but it feels like the violence hasn't gone away from the sneaker game. So it's tough to imagine nowadays it being the same as it was like in the 90s. You know what I mean?
Right. It's the internet, bro. I think that the internet has killed a lot of it. I remember sneaker line, like, you didn't know, you had to call all the sneaker stores in the area to figure out who was getting what, especially if there was 3 different releases on that same day, because not every store got all 3 pair. So you had to really figure out which ones mattered. Like, I remember it was one release, Braun released 3 different colorways. He had the mangoes, he had the joints, the lime green and the black joints. Then he had like the Griffey versions of his shoe. They all released, and 3 different stores in the mall had one colorway. Like, no one store had all 3. It was crazy. But I think I got more W's in the line. Sneakers app is just so random, and I think the line at least felt like I had a shot at it, because I could get up at 6 o'clock, go stand in line for a 9 o'clock opening. I mean, that was when you're younger. Age plays a part in it now, because at this point, an app probably is the way to go, just because these youngins out here, they tripping. So, anyways, but yeah, I think the line, you got more of a chance at a W, at least felt like it, because you could see, like you said, you could see the people in front of you, at least know who your competition was, right? You know who you're going against, and half the time, the average size is what, a 9 and 10. At that point, I'm rocking the 12, so I was like, I'm good at this point. But I do miss that. And the trip me and E took out to Delaware, I mean, it was kind of a layered trip though. We went out there for sneakers, but then also it was like, you know, just a trip with the homie. Like, you know, we was out there, we got a chance to vibe and just talk, like for like an hour and a half. You know, it was a good trip all the way up. We just talk, and then when we got there, like he said, when you go on somebody else's territory, you really don't know how the shoe situation works on somebody else's turf. Because we got up there and it was no longer a line thing; it was a raffle thing. So you had to stand in line to get the band for the raffle. And it was layered, like it was so different. And then I think that started what taking away from the lines is you had to get in line just to get the chance to get in another line to get the shoe. Like the sneaker, it began to be too much. But I do miss the line. Again, there's a lot of nostalgic moments in line. Now I think about how crazy that was. I'm like 16. I'm in Eastover again because it's like four shoe stores on top of each other, and I'm standing in line with the most dangerous niggas in DC. You know, with cash. I ain't had no credit card. I'm just standing there, just waiting. You just gotta own the moment of being there, right? Yeah. But I missed that. And then we don't know who we botting against. You know, I'm an ordinary dude. I ain't botting out here. I'm just entering my name in a raffle and hopefully I win something.
No, I have not. Yeah, my first time winning on the sneaker app was probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I won like the blue and white dunks. But that was the first. No, that was the first time I won, and now that's the first time I won in a year and a half, bro. The last turn I won was the beginning of 2020. Yeah.
And this is I've won. I think I'm 3 times this year. One
you doing good.
One I definitely wanted. 2, I went in the last minute of the raffle. Just the last minute. I'm gonna just play this game. Ain't no way.
You're messing up your own algorithm, dog.
Fucking kidding me. And then I won. I won the Tweety and Sylvester joints. Oh. And so I know my South Beach chances were shot. And nobody in history has won 2 weeks in a row. I was like, that's
you was done.
So with the sneaker line, do y'all have like a story that stands out when you think about the sneaker lines?
I think I got one where I didn't actually stand in the line. My homegirl stood in line for me. Actually, it was my girlfriend at the time. She stood in line for me. And she got me the Space Jams in like 2009. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, I sit into the Lions then too. I sit in the PG Plaza, bro.
Oh, come on, bro.
Oh, but it was bad, yeah. She didn't even know what she was getting into, bro.
That's PG Plaza.
Yeah, hey, shout out to her, man. She was a real one, son.
That's how you know. That's how you know.
The last line I was in, it wasn't a true release line. This was a local shoe shop, did a raffle. I won the raffle. So you still had to go to the store to wait in line to actually pick your pair up on like the Saturday or whatever. So this is the last time that I've been in the line. So I'm in Georgetown, waiting outside of Ubic, which is now Atmos. And I'm wearing my Gundam 98s, and I just start striking up a conversation with the dude that's in front of me because no one knows when we're getting let into the store, like when they said it was like gonna start at 11. It was 11:30. No one had moved, so we didn't know what was going on. So everyone's just chopping it up, and this dude ends up becoming like a sneaker homie. Me and him like friend each other on IG, and every once in a while we'll like check each other's like pickups and stuff, and he'll ask me to try to sell some of the stuff that he's got and whatever. So it's just kind of dope that those are the interactions that you don't get when all the releases are online. You're not actually meeting real people who you're chopping it up with. You guys find that you have similar tastes, or there's certain shoes that you both are just like, oh yeah, that's my shit. you don't get that online in the same way. Like the forums were never going to be the same as in-person type. So that's something that I miss for sure. That's definitely missed out on just the strictly online releases.
Any of y'all ever camped out?
Nah, I haven't done that.
Never camped out.
Never camped out. Nah.
No.
I didn't do it.
And I think that the camping out shit was, I was too old at the time everybody started wanting to sleep in line. It was mostly the Concords, right? Like you can go on YouTube now and see that Concord camp out in Houston where it was, so that's the point. Like you wait in line for, like everybody's patient for the most part. You can see some knuckleheads kind of, looking up the line, trying to find their way to kind of just stand there, do the chat and cut kind of thing. And then, but when the doors open, like everybody's busting through like it's calming to that door unlock is too much.
Now, I remember the Concord when they came out probably like a couple years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, and they came out and like they had like that shit made the news, man. People like the stores, people was like breaking the doors down to get in the store. They fucked the mall up, bro. It was crazy.
Robinson, done.
Yeah, yo,
like
done.
And they never have the proper
security.
Security for these things. And like again, like you have to go to some of the worst neighborhoods to get what you want. Like you said, Iverson, Eastover. I mean, all that place is being gentrified now. So I don't know how many sneaker releases are going to be left over there. But to CB's point, like boutiques are the only thing that's doing like these. They're not even doing like major releases. They're doing these like one-off collab most of the times. Like a lot of the off-whites go to the boutiques, but there's like one in every state, if that. So there's not like a big these sneaker boutiques like here and there, and then like the one in Georgetown, they get a couple releases. But if you're looking for like some Yays, before Yays became more available to get, you had to go to like some crazy places to get these Yays. You got something?
No, I think that even with that, because being the only West Coast representing on here, I wish we had somebody from the Midwest, right? Because I feel like each section had their own way that eventually that you went from the line to the boutiques or even to online, right? Because me and CB just had the conversation not too long ago, like how like East Bay finding my house. When I haven't been on that shit since I was in high school, it's like they are as good as Fannie Mae as finding you to get your damn payments. You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna find you for real.
Right.
The crazy part about it is
I used to hit up East Bay too.
Right. I remember even Cleo. I know you remember this. We used to get the East Bay and circle them hoes because we would go online, and the online thing before it became the app was like trying to get registered for a class in college of a professor that you knew that you wanted to take at a certain time compared to I'm not taking that 7 a.m. class. You know what I mean? So you was in here, and as soon as that shit said 8:59, you was like this. You was trying to hurry up and tap that motherfucker to get your thing in. So like I think the crazy part into it all is the boutiques, or even like you said, the one-offs on that for us out here on the West Coast was always the Vans and like the Chucks, and even the Pro Kens, because the sneaker culture out here has always been A1. You get cats that come from all over the world. They come from different places. They get that name, and then next thing you know, they vibing out in certain parts of Cali where your collabs in Santa Monica is different from your collab in like Orange County, where you got a different vibe of like who's the name down there, right? And then that starts to catch on. It wasn't until hip hop, right, kind of brought into where then you had just one-offs of your Jay had the shoe, then Game had his, 50 had his, like nobody was really wearing them. But you notice how they would drop certain ones in different locations based upon knew how that area was looking for a certain type of look. It was a certain type of colorway. It was a certain type of, and then Jordan did it. Remember when Jordan started releasing he had the Phoenix ones, he had the Portland ones, like all the different color schemes was based upon the places that was also color schemes. The LA ones, everybody knew they was gonna have like the purple and gold. So I think that was the turn of now everybody kind of having I get to pick, right? You get to look at if you know you was dope if you had an LA colorway and you on the East Coast because ain't nobody out there sporting that shit unless they got a cousin from out this way.
Right.
So
Right. Remember,
Nah.
speaking of East Bay, I remember, like you said, I remember getting dubs off East Bay. Like you would get to shoot, like it would tell you which Jordan was getting ready to come out. You probably had like 2 weeks before, and just you remember that whole process of getting a money order and putting it and trusting the live mail to deliver an order form.
That's crazy now you think about
it.
Right. And then in the middle of the book was your order form. Like you had to tear that shit just right.
Yep.
Else you was gonna rip the whole book or you was gonna rip your order form. But you would fill it out, make sure all the numbers is right in them little ass boxes they give you. 16 digits during that little, and make sure you double check. Okay, now I need to stamp. I got all this shit. Now I need to stamp. What? Okay, got the money order, got the stamp. Boom, let's send it off. And like 4 weeks later, your J's came in the mail.
Crazy.
Like you get a box. Like, oh shit, I forgot.
That was the best. Hey, look, that was the best too. Forgetting about the shit and that shit comes like, oh shit.
I forgot all about like that. Like that is sneaker like nostalgia. That's why we named this episode sneaker nostalgia. Like those moments of just, or even calling the 1-800 number, and you had at that point credit cards were only at least one person in my family at that point had a credit card, maybe two. I just need to call and order these with your credit card. Make sure you hit the right number, or you talk to a live person, and then boom, they be in the mail. Whatever the call center was, they be in the mail, and they may come a little faster. You talk to a live person, maybe 2.5 weeks. But
speaking of like the nostalgia though, like it's so funny how like pop culture and like even when it comes to sports, it's like huge in like sneakerheads, man. Because you remember like certain moments in pop culture or like in sports where like matter of fact, it made you go get a shoe just because of that moment. It had nothing to do with you actually liking that shoe. But it's like, damn, the moment made you like the shoe. Like, for prime example, I got it in my room right now, man. The Jordan for the free throw line. The threes. The threes are my favorite shoe now just because of the free throw line, bro. Like, that shit was like, it was so clean, man. It's like Jordan knew where the camera was. And he put like, the shoe was looking glistening, it was glistening and everything. I mean, it was just perfect, man. There's moments like that, man. It's like you can't pay for that kind of shit, man.
The marketing ads Jordan had, it's got to be the shoes. Remember that?
Yeah,
it's got to be the shoes. Like, if I get these, I'm a dunk. Like, it's got to be the shoes. There's no other way to explain it. But yeah, man. Okay. So I asked you guys to bring a shoe. I mean, we can still keep this on this, but let's transition into I actually, right, bring a shoe you want to spotlight, and we're gonna talk about why the shoe. What this sneaker represents to you. Let's start with that first question. Show the shoe and what the sneaker represents to you. Like, I know it's got a nostalgic moment or a personal moment. I can start it off since I've been going last. I remember on the one that we didn't air, I had to go on the dark shoe, but we'll do that another one because I want to talk about another shoe. So. The foams, right?
Oh man,
the foams kind of revolutionized the basketball shoe, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was the blue.
You better put those joints on the big screen, dog.
What?
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that. Yes, do that. You look at CB producing. But nah.
Yes.
The foam, the foam represented. It was the first $200 sneaker. As the shoes weren't already expensive, how the hell am I going to explain? I need a $200 sneaker, right?
No, grads had to cut for that shit.
And these things to this day, boots they heavy. Like I don't know, but the material was groundbreaking. Penny had Penny was up and coming. Like Blue Chips was hot. Penny had these shoes, and I just remember. Like the foam, like revolutionized the sneaker game. Because up until then, it was J's.
That was it.
Then DC. I mean, I'm assuming still to this day, DC puts on foams.
Yep.
Like DC Revolution, like brought foams to the spotlight. And I remember this colorway in particular, Tim Duncan. Like you think of all the players in the league, and how boring Tim Duncan was to watch for however long he played. This man rocked.
If they ever come back with them silver joints, oh my god! People like to this day, people still want those silver joints
and the gold. I never had the silver and the gold joints, but Tim Duncan put those on, and I got these in a regular release. Like I don't know if I stood in line. I mean, I think I just walked in the Foot Locker and got them. And $200.
Those were the days. Damn.
$200. No, and now I laugh at $200. I spent that shit. Whatever, just $200. Oh,
you got a deal.
Stop getting $200 for those.
Hey, look, when you see 150, like I saw you 150. Oh shit, I like that.
That's nothing. Give me 2 pair of them joints. But yeah, that's my shoe. That's what I'm spotlighting tonight. B, we can roll with you next. It's you right there. What you got for us?
Well, I showed you my shoe earlier, but I'm gonna swap it.
You go, oh, come on, don't swap it. It tells a story. Go ahead, go for it.
You tell the story?
It tells a story.
I'm gonna swap it.
Yeah, there they go.
Nah, and I'm gonna tell you, I got a story for this one. So in '99, I went to school at Norfolk State. They wasn't on these. I got these for $59.
Get the fuck
in Norfolk, Virginia.
What?
$59. These came out in '97. They just had them in stock in '99 in a shoe store, a major shoe store.
That goes to show you.
And I asked my mom, like I had to buy a book, and she sent me $59. I got in trouble for it later because I wore these shoes and she put 2 and 2 together. But I asked my mom for $59.
It was worth it.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
I still got it.
Yo,
they might talk.
That's look. Sneakerheads understand that, man. Look,
if they come out with these again, I don't care how much they cost. I'm getting a pair.
I'll do. And if they come out with those again, fuck the sneaker ass. I'm just going to Flight Club, go whatever. I'm gonna pay the extra money.
Put the middleman down.
Yeah, it's a wrap, bro.
And if didn't Duncan wear those too?
These are the Dunkins.
Yeah, those are Dunkins.
These are Dunkins. These came out first, didn't they?
The foams are first, and then I think those.
The foam was first.
First, then the.
But that was the first Dunkin'. That's the first one. Dunkin' water.
God, dog, Tim.
Then the flights. Yeah.
Yep. He ended his career wearing like peaks.
Yeah, he must have got paid, bro.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He's number 1 overall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was. Yeah. So of course.
He was first pick. Yeah, he was first pick.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wake Forest.
There you go.
And this is another story right here. But
oh man, the ample.
Well, look, we understand.
Right. But they
dope shoe.
Yeah.
Dope. All right, E.
Shit. My nostalgia one is so again, West Coast represent, but this one was up north. And I'm talking about Pacific up north, like none other than So I think it was the fact that I didn't really fuck with baseball like that, but he made me watch baseball. He made me like the game, right? You look at how young he was and how he was doing it. You look at the fact that the shoe, and not this colorway, but the original one was one that I remember I wanted more than anybody else. And I think it was at that time they started coming out with the different size. So I think the Barry Sanders was coming out. Dion already had his. So the other sneaker or the other sports, players from other ones were dropping their own one. Nobody, for the most part, was on the Griffies like that because they felt like, they too bulky. They look like they should have been football shoes if you look at them for real.
Yep.
But they were so dope that I felt like I had to cop them. And I remember, again, nostalgia or sneakerhead moments that, my homeboy Jimmy, we used to have. So we utilized one locker was strictly for books and the other locker was strictly for shoes. And we used to, and we would literally come and we would swap out shoes, or we would have a shoe that we wear at gym that we didn't care fucking up. But then we would have a shoe that we were wearing for the rest of the day that was hard as shit. And I remember to this day that when everybody saw how I rocked the Griffies, all them niggas went and got them shits like the next week. And I was like, I'm not even on them no more because of that. And then that's when I think that second Dion came out that almost looked like this, but had a different colorway. So I felt like this is the one that changed it, that made the athletes that were really probably in the other sports to look at how their shoe was. Because it was always, they tried to do that cross function, right? Where it looked like something that they would play in, but there's something you can wear. I felt like this is the one that made it like, this is the one that you can rock out and everybody's going to be like, damn, them hoes is hard. Like, regardless of, you can look as baggy as you want to, but them hoes probably got you a 5 and at least got one number at the dance. That's all I'm saying.
Ain't no bullshit. Hey, just to reference my earlier joints, man. When I talking about when I was like 6 or 7, I had to go back and get them. The 5s there.
Classics.
Yo, like I mean, it's just where it started for me, man. It started for me with this shoe right here, man. The 5, and I still haven't worn it to this day. I just like looking at them. Like I don't even want to wear them, to be honest. I just like looking at them, Joe.
Dope colorway, man. That shoe right there.
Classic.
And it's so clean. It's not too much to them. It's just clean though, man.
Yep. Would you credit Will Fresh Prince for giving the 5s a big spotlight?
Facts. I would say that. Yeah, that's a fact. That's like pop culture. That's pop culture history right there, man. That's a moment.
Yeah.
No, when he's rocking with no shoelaces, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah.
And
he had the grapes.
But the one,
he had the original grapes.
OG grapes. But the one that like I've seen like the story for me there, like these right here.
Oh, come on,
Ratchies, yeah.
Come on,
the
man.
fat look. Yo,
Fab.
I just call them the Fat 5s.
Come on, man.
This is why I knew about the Fat 5 because of this shoe. Like that, when I saw these on the Fat 5's feet,
Come on.
that was it for me, bro. Like
That's
real
real OG nostalgia.
I didn't know what they were. I was like, yo, I just want the Fat 5 joints, man. Like I didn't know they were Rockies. The neck, like, man, give me the Fat 5s, yeah. But these right here, man, I love these, man. Like this is my moment, bro. I love these to this day, man. Like I'll buy whatever I see them, I will buy them, bro. I love these.
What release of those? Those the like the first rerun of those?
This is the first rerun, yeah.
Dope. I got a basketball card with Scottie Pippen wearing those, and he dunking on somebody. But
in
the
the
thing
All-Star
is,
game.
That's what it was. Because like they didn't match the Bulls uniform, so he had to wear. Dope, man. Yeah, dope ass sneakers right there. Ah, CV.
So we're gonna take it way back to 2016, 2017. There was a period of time where Three Stripes Adidas actually felt like they were coming for Nike's neck. Like a lot of the Yeezy Adidas stuff was brand new. Yep. Boost was brand new, and Ultra Boost were taking over at this point. They weren't a mass-produced runner like they are now. They were a shoe that was getting the collaboration treatment and the limited run treatment and stuff like that. Adidas had a lot of hype. And so we get to December of 2017 and Adidas announces they're going to do an NMD collab with 2 shops that are big out in Asia. So Neighborhood, which is big in Japan, and then Invincible, which is big in Taiwan. And Neighborhood actually they have a pretty deep sneaker culture and collab history. And they had done a collab with Adidas back in like the early 2000s on some superstars. So they collab on these NMDs, which the story that they came up with these, because this is one of the things that for me was super dope, is that they came up with a story behind it, and it revolves around a souvenir jacket. So if you're familiar with like souvenir bomber jackets, they got all the patches and stuff on there. And so these joints, they went and embroidered. So you got the contour letters on the one shoe, which I believe stands for like togetherness, something like that. And then you got the tiger, which these are, remind you of what will be on a souvenir jacket, something like that. and they went with a monochrome up. So the black upper, the white sole is actually to pay homage to the Superstar collab that they did in the early 2000s, because Superstars are a monochromatic shoe. You know what I mean? They got generally the big sole one color, and then the upper the one color. But they really played up on the tiger imagery, because tigers are huge out in Asia. They're like the dominant predator out there. And so some of the details that they added is there's actually like camouflage tiger stripes on the Adidas 3 stripes, which are hard to pick up on here.
Yep.
But
That's hard.
these came out in 2017. It took me until January of 2020 to be able to get a pair. So
Wow.
We know that Boost isn't the same hype anymore. NMDs do not have the same hype anymore, but these joints are some of my favorite of all time. And so it's one of those joints where I actually went up and doubled up on them. So it took me until 2020 to get a pair, and I copped 2.
One for the house,
Wow.
one for the car.
Yeah.
Those are
So
hard.
while you on this, CB, what you pairing with those? Like, if you had to rock those today, you going out in 2019, you getting ready to go to a club somewhere or wherever.
It's
What are
funny
you rocking
you
with
ask.
those?
So I got these in January of 2020, right? In 2020, before the pandemic hit, me, my brother, and my brother-in-law go to London to catch a Liverpool soccer game in London when they're playing West Ham United. We're there for 2 days, and people are like, yo, are you guys going to do sightseeing? Nah, all we want to do is hit up sneaker shops in London, go to, some of the boutiques. That's all we wanted to do.
Yeah.
So we go to, it's the biggest Adidas store I've ever seen. And it's might have been like in Piccadilly Square, whatever, in London. And they had a Juventus hoodie, or it's not a hoodie, a sweatshirt, which it just ended up being perfect, because not only is it Adidas, but it's got a tiger.
Oh man.
So,
that's perfect.
with like you got like the Japanese letter, like all that stuff. So, it's
There you go. Okay,
like if it's a fit that's been worn before, you better believe it.
that's okay. Okay. B, now if you're going out 2019, January 2019, before COVID really took off, what you rocking with your joints?
Well, I had another shoe on the side, so I had that. So let me grab what I wear with them real quick. Hold on.
You going to the clock? Okay, so E, it's 2019. What you gonna wear? First of all, you're not wearing the 5s. Are you gonna wear the Hirachis?
I probably would wear the 5s, because it's more like that's the joint you can put on with a lot of fits.
Okay.
Because of the color.
Right.
Because come on, red and white, you can put that on like a lot. But
Right.
yeah, so red with those, I'm gonna break it down to the present day now. I'm gonna wear a vest fit. So anything with vest on it, like a vest hoodie or a vest shirt. Yeah.
There you go.
Gotta keep with the home team, son.
There you go. I feel you. No, that's dope. Okay. E Rich. What are you rocking? With your Griffies?
I think you had to be. I think the way that I think first of all, the fact that the baseball shoes was, he had that line, that it was still to this day, I still remember it. I wore the alternate Mariners jersey, and I remember I had on black shorts, and first of all, if any of y'all, and I know y'all got the Clearwaters, nobody should be wearing Clearwaters with white socks. You have got to wear black socks with your Clearwaters. Period. They got to be black socks.
Right. Okay.
Right? But it was the black socks, black shorts, and the baseball jersey. And the dope thing about it was, around that time was before we hit that next level of Mitchell and Ness throwbacks and all that other stuff. So my Ken Griffey one was already authentic, because I had been up there for a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, and I had copped a Gary Payton the Gary Payton jersey, and I copped I copped the Ken Griffey Jr. one. But the craziest cop, and I know it's outside of this, was on my way back. We had stopped in Oakland for a tournament, and I had copped I don't know how and why it was up there, but it was a Jason Kidd Cal number 5 jersey. And I remember I still to this day got it. Can't fit the hole no more, but that is my hardest. Okay. That is the hardest jersey.
Put that shit in the frame. Put that in the frame.
Hey.
Put it on the wall.
Hey, it's funny you said that, dog. This was honest to God true, bro. I had a Jason Kidd 5 jersey Cali joint, and the reason why I used to wear it because it almost like the Michigan colors, and I used to wear it with the fucking Hirachis, bro. Real shit.
Dope. Before we get back to you, B, I'm aware. So I'm keeping it all the way DC with these foams. I would do camo shorts and a white tee.
Facts.
That's the only way you can do it.
Come on.
It may be no show socks. Like I don't know if you wear anything higher, and I ain't definitely wear no slouch socks like you used to wear with them.
Yeah.
But I think no shows. But yeah, that it may be a black bucket cap. Keep it all the way.
Or Nationals hat.
National, there you go, all the way. Bees, what you rocking with?
Man, I'm rocking what I wore in high school with them. Some Nike black with the silver stripe.
There you go.
Look, I got pictures with them, man. You couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me nothing.
Oh, let me get you on the full screen. There you go.
You couldn't tell me.
Oh man, with the reflector though?
Yeah, these reflector. Yeah.
Yeah.
They baggy too, so you know they old. You can't even find baggy. They baggy.
There you go.
I've been watching a lot of fashion. I might step out one day with them on.
There you go.
They come out with these again. I'm a retro these.
Man,
I'm a retro, bro.
That's sneaker nostalgia. That's
man.
That's the essence right there. Like,
hey,
just
Phil,
seeing that.
Phil, I want to fuck with you real quick, Phil.
Go ahead.
I just want to fuck with you because you had some shit you was talking about. You ain't get a chance to get. I just want to fuck with you anyway.
Wait. You
wrong for that one.
Those the re-releases. Those the re-releases.
Yeah.
Sheesh. So you missed the show the other night. I still got my OGs. I don't wear them because I don't know what condition.
Hey, look, I just want to talk shit just because you missed the joint. That's all. That's all.
You got me. You absolutely got me because I
took an L. I took
everybody
an L
took
those too. Yeah.
And then look.
Look, I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. Look, I'm gonna just say be honest with y'all. I just went to Flight Club. Say fuck it. I'm just gonna get them before they come out.
That's what I should have did.
Fuck that sneaker out shit, dog.
That's what I should have did. That's what I should have did.
Nothing wrong with that.
That was smart.
That's what I should have did.
I did this like 2 weeks ago, bro.
Yep, I seen a couple folks that I followed just went to Flight Club and paid the pre-resale for it, which I mean, it's almost.
But depending on what size you were, it wasn't even that bad though. It depending on what size you were.
Right. Now, mind you, we had the conversation about the first $200 shoe a few minutes ago. How crazy that was, right? Mm-hmm. So that's great. I had to ask CB this question. Since me and CB work together, like, does working with me or sitting on the other side of each other, did that amplify sneaker purchasing for you? Did that kind of kick it into gear, or was it always there?
What really kicked it into gear was the checks that started coming in from the job working with you. But it is one of those things like, the love was always there. But like Kaleo can attest to this. When I actually started working at that job, even initially there wasn't a lot of deliveries coming in because I had a girl and that's where most of my money went. So it was funny because now people are like, yo, it seems like you stepped up your collection game. And I was like, I have. I also just make more money now than I did when I was a kid. So, things that used to be out of reach where, if I'm asking mom or pop for some money for some shoes, like mom's putting me to work. You know what I mean? Like you know how many weeks worth of chores I got to do to get $150 for some sneakers that are not my one pair before the school year, you know? So it is one of those things that having a homie in such close proximity where it's like, man, I'm thinking about getting them. And then they can be that one angel on your shoulder. It's like, you should get them. That's what it was like to work with Phil. So it's not so much that like it's solely because he was there, but definitely a contributing factor on different levels.
I'm just wondering. Look, all right, fellas. Look, so we made it through our inaugural Soul Tales episode, and hopefully we can get on these on a regular schedule, a quarterly schedule, or once a month. Keep the committee, recycle some folks in and out. Definitely gotta get a lady in here. So that's the ticket the next time. We need to get a lady. We need to get that other perspective of it. But yeah, it feels
I had
good.
a couple nominees for you.
Let's do it. Look, let's do it. I'm down. But now I feel like this episode, it really brought back the nostalgia, the whole sneaker nostalgia, right? Mm-hmm. It brought back some moments, like B showing the reflective Nike pants with those shoes. Like, damn, that for me again. That's high school for you. That's high school for me too. I remember that fit. The line, talking about the lines, talking about the East Bay stuff, like the real sneakerheads, like within our range or maybe a tad older. We've gone through all the elements, the stages of being a sneakerhead. Like these young dudes nowadays, they don't know. Yeah, they're not in the streets like we were, right?
Look, they haven't even seen some of the players even play. So that was big. You watch Jordan play, you wanted to be like, you got to be like Mike. Right. They never seen Ken Griffey.
There's people out here fighting over the flu games that have never seen the game.
Never seen Ken Griffey. Don't know who Dion played two sports. Bo Jackson. Patrick Ewing. I mean, I think we was in the golden age, bro, because we seen all the greatest sports players play.
Yo, if I never would have started Fast Five, I never would have got to Hirachis, bro. Like it just that's the only reason I got him.
Yeah,
yo, it is what and then different to have the jersey to match.
Yeah,
like you look, they don't even sell Jordan jerseys on the retail market anymore. You have to go in the black market to get a Jordan jersey. But remember having, if you had the red one was the most common one, the Red Bulls jersey with whatever Jay's rocking. But if you were able to get that one black rare one
with the pinstripe,
with the red,
with the pinstripes though,
exactly. Or if you had the 45, if you were blessed to get the 45,
oh yeah,
bro,
like people they won't know that, like
starter jackets.
Oh hell, and like those jerseys, champion, original champion.
I know you like champion,
like original champion. Like nowadays, like champion is so marked up. We had the real champion where it's just man.
You get champion from Walmart not too long ago.
Hey, remember we had the conversation about dunks though, bro. Back in the day,
they had to be SB.
I used to get them back in the day. Yo, but look, you can get dunks in the clearance section, bro. Like real talk. These dunks I got right here, I got them in the I got these dunks in the clearance section at Sports Zone, son.
Yep.
These kids just saw Travis Scott in them. And it completely changed the entire product line. You know what I mean? I've been plotting on the Northern Light dunks. The lows were $160 on StockX before Travis Scott stepped out in a pair of dunks. These joints go for like $600 now in my size. And I was just sitting on them because I never thought that the prices would appreciate like that. I was like, I can just come back to them whenever I want.
Man, Huarache sold out. Huaraches, you can just go. You used to go to the store and get your color.
Yep.
They selling out.
Look, now the only J's you can find. Look, I got a pair of J's from Modell's back in the day. I got like a main release J from Modell's. Like now Modell's on the carrot, they gone. But like now that you want to go to a store to buy a J off the shelf, it's like a Team J or like a third generation form of it. It's
bad.
Way different. It's way different. But bad, man. Look, that's all our time, huh?
Got a question for you.
Go ahead.
This is just a little segue, maybe into the next one. Who had the toughest football cleats?
We talking about we talking about players, right? Not within the what's next round, right? We talking about players, right?
No, we talk about within the what's next round.
Oh, shit, come on.
Nah. So listen, right, and that's why I said like not even nostalgia, but my question I have for you guys before we get off here is what sets you aside for you being the sneakerhead? Like what was it that what was your lane
That's a good question.
that kind of made you the sneakerhead
Wow.
on your side? You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, we all got different flavor, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all got that we have nostalgia shoes, but what I'm asking is, what is that lane that you carve for yourself to be like, this is why, and this is where I take mine, and somebody come fuck with me on this. You know what I'm saying? Like these are the ones that I stand out on.
So your own spin on being a sneakerhead.
Yeah,
That's dope. I can go. Let me go.
Yo.
go ahead.
All right. So mine has kind of evolved over the years. It went from straight basketball shoes, because that's really where the sneaker culture kind of began. The basketball shoe.
True.
And then, you know, I got into hip hop itself, and Pharrell was all about skater shoes, skater. Like Pharrell was, he dared to be different, as he still is to this day. So my style kind of evolved from that to I started buying a bunch of Vans. I bought some Osiris joints. I got some audio joints, Supras, and then like it was straight just super like skater shoes, tees, and like khakis. Like, and then from there, started incorporating some of the basketball stuff with it, like khakis and basketball shoes. And then to the point where now mine is, I'm all about like colorways. Like I don't have to match anymore. Like this shit I got on doesn't match at all.
Yeah.
And I would wear a pair of pink. I wear a pair of pink shoes with this shit, or I wear some Travis joints with it. Like it doesn't even have to match.
Yeah.
The jeans
That's
or the
the cool
khakis
thing
will
about
balance it
fashion
out.
now, dog. You don't have to match no more, bro.
You don't.
Nope.
It's there that you have to be different. No one.
Yep.
You shouldn't fall in line. That's a great thing about being a sneakerhead. And that's a good question you brought that up. E. Like you can find your own lane, because everybody's rocking the same shoes. Everybody's going after Concords, but how are you rocking that shit for real?
Yeah.
All right, who's next? Somebody else.
See, me, when I first started, it was just Jordans, because that's what I grew up seeing. I had the Emmitt Smiths, Barry Sanders, of course, and I got a picture when I actually had the Kevin Johnson's, or somebody, some Converse.
Converse joints? Yeah. The React
To the
joints.
KJ.
Black and purple. My
Yeah,
brother
those are the
just posted
KJs.
that on Thursday. But then I started going to a phase where I was wearing like the Tigers. You couldn't tell me the Tigers, and then I went Adidas. And back then, you could get a pair of Adidas from DSW for $20, $30. I remember Chucks were $20. So I went to a Chuck phase. I moved over to like a Money Exchange, but we go forget about that stage when I dressed up and buttoned up to the Money Exchange and stuff like that. Then I came back. Now I'm more bringing back, just comfortable. I'm about to be 40, bruh. And I like the texture of the shoe. I like the suedes.
Yep. No,
I like,
absolutely.
I don't know what it is, man. When you grew up wearing some of these shoes, they remind me of the 996s that I used to wear back in the day. So I had to cop those. And now I'm going towards more like black owned. So now I'm like black owned.
Yeah.
A smaller shoe. And my clothes as well. So you said you got your own clothing line. I'm definitely gonna hit you up, because that's what my YouTube channel was about. It's about picking up, small and up and coming brands. So now I'm about not just black owned, but small companies that's trying to grow. And like I said, it's the fabric. I don't know what it is. The feel of each, the color of it. It's just when you step out with something nobody else got, because that's hard now.
Yeah, it is.
It is hard. So you might low key come out with a pair of Vans that nobody else got, or some Chuck Taylors that you pay like $60 for, maybe even $20 at the outlet, and still look good.
Yep.
So it's your style.
Yep.
Yeah.
Carve your own lane in it.
CB?
It's definitely something that has evolved, but for me, it all originated from soccer. Like soccer was my first intro into, even if you want to say fashion, because you talk about track jackets and stuff like that, track suits. Like that was what soccer warm-ups were, you know what I mean? So having like a matching Adidas tracksuit to go with my Sambas that I was wearing. If I'm showing up to the games on Saturdays looking like that, yeah, I'm scoring a hat trick. Like that's, you know, there's no way that's not happening. So, you know, kind of started from there, like, because it was function meets, you know, form or something like that. And I feel like still to this day, that's kind of how it goes. It's just kind of evolved with the time. And yeah, comfort comes into a bigger role now. So yeah, give me the Cozy Boy certified sneakers. Like, cause even the Chucks nowadays, it's not just a strict rubber outsole like it used to be. They got the real nice insoles. They might even be throwing some of the other Nike Tech and stuff in there, all the different materials. Like there's so many ways to do it up now. Because Kaleo, you're also right. Colors and matching and all this kind of stuff is to some degree out the window if you want it to be. I'll literally wear a gray from top to bottom setup if I have a loud ass pair of shoes on. Because if that's what I want you to focus on, I'm going to draw the attention there. Or, you know, or is the fit going to be, it's like, all like I wore this jersey today and I have a pair of shoes that also was browns and reds and oranges, like those colors. So the palette was the same. It's one of those things where nowadays it's kind of like, where am I going to be? And the options for how to style it up are just so plentiful now. It's almost like you don't need to be pigeonholed into just doing one thing anymore. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
Nah. Hey, I would say for me, man, it had to come from I always tried to be different. And it started when I was like in 9th grade. Cause I remember when like a lot of people was wearing like Jordans and stuff like that. I took a chance to start wearing like low top Adidas. But they would be like they were like running shoe Adidas though. And I remember I got these joints called Trail something. I don't know what they was, man. And then it started with those, and then I got the DMX Reebok joints.
Yeah.
And yo, like and like them joints, I just like they were just different, and I always liked them. So I never was pigeonholed to a brand. That's why I'm never like stuck on just Nike. Like now, if I like it and look good, like now I rock Pumas. Like the low top, the low top Pumas now killing. Like it's some killer joints out there for Puma right now, bro.
Yep.
And people so fixated on like Nike or whatever, like Puma's killing it right now, and they're reasonable, like under $90 though.
Yeah, and easy to get.
Easy to get, yeah. And then another drink that I've been fooling with, Asics.
Yeah.
Asics. Classic, bro. You can't go wrong with those, man. But I've always been a thing where like it doesn't have to be expensive to look good. And like you can see, look, I seen people where like you can have Gucci this and Gucci that, but look like a bird. You don't even rock the shit right, bro. Yeah, like you can buy the same shit off the mannequin, but then look terrible because you ain't rocking it right. No. It don't make sense.
They got no swag.
Like, no, it ain't no swag with it. Yeah, Look, I come in the same function you in with a hoodie and something else, whatever. But my outfit stands out, and you just got this all Gucci joint on, and don't even make sense. It just got Gucci on. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But nah, it's just how it's. And then it's confidence too. Being confident in whatever you wearing, just confidence goes along with it though. Just being confident, man. I'm waiting to rock this. I got a what is this drink? Like what's the drink like in Mexico? Like a poncho here. I'm gonna rock this drink. Dog. I got a poncho and the drink. Like yo, I'm gonna kill it when it get cold.
You already know.
This poncho, son.
That's the best fashion weather anyway. When it gets cooler.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Hoodies, dog.
All the layers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, layers, dog. I love it.
I'm bringing it. Yeah.
So
bring it home.
Yeah. So you were a witness to this, right? And so for me, because I was mainly like everything was basketball. Everybody said like we got it came from the basketball court, right? We saw the other sports, but they really didn't have a bunch of shoes that really stood out that could last over time, right? Everybody was wearing Jordans. I was definitely the Jordan king. Like I was the kid that had them 2 weeks before they dropped out. You know, when Nelly made the song, I was like, nigga, you about 6 years late. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been doing this. You know what I'm saying? The one thing that got me though, and like I said, Cleo can attest to this, was, you know, Dion had that slogan, you know, you look good, you play good, you feel good. So I was like, well, shit, I feel good in Jordan. So why should I not be wearing Jordans when I play football? So I started out, and they thought I was crazy. They was like, do you have on Jordans? And they thought that I went and got Jordan, like I got cleats put on the bottom of some original Jordans. But I'm like, no, these is for real, the Jordan cleats. Like I was rocking them shits when Warren Sapp had the shits on when he was in Tampa. And they was like, nigga, how do you even have those? I'm like, nigga, how do you not have them? You know what I'm saying? Like just because you're on a football field don't mean that you can't wear Jordans no more. You know what I'm saying? And from that point on, I had the low sixes, the all black low six cleats. I had the fours. I mean the patent leathers. Like I was like, I'm out here, I'm gonna look good. And people used to be like, he really got on Jordans out here. Like while everybody else was buying the little Zooms, the lightweight soccer cleats, trying to get a little bit more speed, I was like, my shoes ain't gonna dictate how fast I am. That's always gonna be just me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna look good while I'm out here doing it. So for me, I still say to this day, there's probably like 2 other cats that was in, you know, the league that I would be like, okay, they footwear is like that. But other than that, I never saw nobody hit the Jordan cleats like I was on the football field. So that's how I knew I always stood aside from everybody else. Was my footwear was also on the playing field, just not all. And then when I got off the field, when they see me on some regular shit, they was like, "Yeah, he still got on Jordans." Like, damn, okay.
Yeah. Facts. All right, we're gonna get up out of here. I want to appreciate you fellas for joining us for our first round of Soul Tales Sneaker Nostalgia. We'll be back at some point with another episode. But we thank everybody for watching, and wear your shoes, right? I think that's
facts. Yeah, wear your shoes, man.
Wear your shoes. All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.